Sai Kiran Kannan has been tracking reactions on Chinese social media. Give our viewers, Sai, a sense of what have been the kind of reactions you've picked up.
Yes, Rahul. So ever since, we've also been covering the recent protests in China, and I think we also did a story on how heterogeneous the overall, situation was. It was not just about one specific aspect where protests were being held, not just about COVID, but variety of issues. Similarly, ever since those protests broke out, we have been tracking the social media reactions in China, and especially after the Indian media especially reported this December 9th incident at Tawang. So there have been range of reactions from Chinese netizens. Some of them have been in terms of why again it's the Indian media which has come out with news reports, and why none of the Chinese media agencies had picked up. So so even the social media posts, they were just quoting Indian media and some of the Russian media agencies. Secondly, we've also been getting a lot of heat being expressed by the netizens on the Chinese government for obvious lack of transparency. And there were many trackbacks to what happened post Galwan, where Indian government immediately released a number of casualties, and we were very transparent. But CCP, Chinese government, only announced their casualties months later. Even then, it was about the pictures of tombstones being released on social media. That is when the Chinese government officially agreed to the number of casualties. And there has also been very interesting comments on the use of I won't say child soldiers, but really young soldiers who are there only to get enough money back to their families, and they want to possibly pursue undergrad or postgrad education later on. So this has been one of the very very interesting reactions from netizens, because they are of the opinion that when you put people there without experience, they're just not going to have the right spirit. When it comes to a situation like this, they're not going to show the right spirit in taking on the enemy.
So very clearly, a lot of chatter around this clash in Tawang on Chinese social media. I want to go across to the BJP spokesperson Sanju Verma. The opposition today and going forward as well seems determined to do a proper discussion on what's happening at the line of control. They seem to think the government's hiding facts. The Home Minister spoke first, then we had the Defence Minister speak in Parliament. The opposition doesn't seem satisfied with the statements. Nasir Hussain, the opposition would like a much longer debate. Let's start from Sanju Verma.
Rahul, let's be very clear that the Modi government has never shied away from serious discussion on the floor of the Parliament. Today also, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, Mr. Prahlad Joshi, categorically informed the opposition that the government is willing to take any questions during question hour, and 12 p.m. Noon was the time that was fixed for Rajnath Singh to take questions from the opposition. Now, I don't understand this shoot and scoot approach of the opposition. You demand a discussion, the government of the day agrees that a discussion is on the cards, and then you make reckless allegations and simply, create a ruckus leading to adjournment of the House. It is like suffering from a Stockholm syndrome. I will also say this, that if you look at the statements given by the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, and the Defence Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, one thing which is very clear is that while an attempt to transgress by the PLA was made, it was thwarted very firmly and resolutely by the Indian side. हमने Chinese PLA के अतिक्रमण की कोशिश को रोका और उनको मजबूर किया कि वो अपनी ओरिजिनल पोजीशंस पर जाएं. This is the statement made by Rajnath Singh, which leaves nothing to anyone's imagination. I would just like to add one thing. This is a sensitive issue. It does not need to be politicized. But since it has been politicized, I would also like to draw the attention of your audience that on the one hand, the opposition, particularly the Congress party, screams from every rooftop that Chinese have encroached into our territory, despite the Prime Minister, despite the Defence Minister, despite the Home Minister, on umpteen occasions saying in the last 8 years under the Modi government, 1 इंच भी हमने किसी को नहीं दिया है और ना आगे लेने देंगे. I want to ask the Congress, you say don't go back to Nehru, but let's be very clear, 38,000 square kilometer was handed over by Pandit Nehru to, 38,000 square kilometer of Aksai Chin was handed over by Pandit Nehru, Rahul 10 seconds, on a golden platter to the Chinese. We allowed the Chinese PLA to destroy Zorawar Fort in 2008-9. There were more than 700 transgressions during the UPA between 2008 and 2010 alone. We allowed the Chinese to capture territory in Chabji Valley and Tia Pangnak area to the tune of 250 kilometers. We allowed the Chinese under the UPA, under Manmohan Singh, to capture territory in, Denjok.